Welcome welcome to the fan club of the Pastors of Pain podcast. I'm here in the studio of Pete FM with my sidekick, Father Brian O'Brien.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. I changed my voice all of a sudden, but I did. Anyway, we're here to all those fans that just love this show. Mary Frost, who's a big fan.
Yeah, California.
She got married last weekend.
Oh, really?
And now her name is Maria Avila. Like
she changed her name. She changed the pronunciation of her.
Oh, sorry, Mary Avila. I call her Maria of Avila.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, congratulations.
I know.
Mary.
There's just a lot of good stuff. A lot of fans.
There are some fans. We've gotten some people have sent us donations.
What about really?
That was nice.
Oh yeah,
last week's show we did to answer one of my dad's big questions about. Mm-hmm. God's mercy at the end of life.
Oh, yeah.
The apostolic pardon.
Yep.
He enjoyed it, as did my mother.
Whoa.
I think my dad actually listened to it twice.
Wow.
Which I don't know if that counts in our numbers,
Did he pass that on to, remember you said that like of the 20 daily mass goers, 19 had no idea?
I think he did send the link to some other people at my home parish there in Kingwood, Texas, the livable forest. That's what it's called.
Do gummy bears live in that livable forest?
Gummy bears are so good.
Oh. What about sugar-free gummy bears?
Ew, why even bother?
I've heard.
We had this last week. We had our priest support group.
Yeah.
And there are always
gummy bears.
It's really the only time.
I really want to slip in some of the sugar-free ones after we read that one time of like the night of 1,000 waterfalls. The guy who was sitting in his tree stand.
The Amazon reviews of gummy bears.
Sugar-free gummy bears.
Very funny. They're very funny.
I was talking to Father Paul Scheller while he was here this past week.
Yeah,
he came in.
He stayed with us at the house.
And he says there's some fans in Nottoway County, America. If you don't know where Nottoway County is, it's a
northwest Missouri,
sleepy bedroom community of Kansas City.
Northeast Missouri?
Or southeast Nebraska. Or southwest Iowa.
So yeah, shout out to the monks and seminarians of Conception Abbey.
Whoa, that's where I went.
Thanks for joining us. That's where Father Robert Duck went. And lots of other guys. Father James Porter.
Oh.
All right, so we got some news. In the Catholic world, if you're not Catholic, or if you're not sort of in tune with the life of the parish, there's this sort of ritual that happens every year in the spring. Mm-hmm. And it is dioceses like ours. Oklahoma City did the same thing. Dioceses all over the country, they announce the priest moves.
Habemus sacerdotales.
Now, what is very interesting, I'll just share a personal story in my own life. I have had 3 assignments.
Okay.
In my, I was the associate pastor at Christ the King.
Okay.
I was the president of Bishop Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
And
I do remember those days.
I am the pastor of St. Francis Xavier here in Stillwater.
Okay.
I have never been a part of the springtime priest moves.
Really?
The 2 times I've moved from Christ the King to Bishop Kelly and from Bishop Kelly to Stillwater, those were announced not at weird times. So my Bishop Kelly move was in December, and my move to Stillwater was announced in September, and then I moved in January. So I do not have a personal experience of what it's like, but it is depending on your parish, depending on the priest, it can be both a sad, like, oh no, but I love my pastor and I don't want him to move. It can be joyful. Oh my gosh, my pastor stinks, or, hates me, or, fill in the blank.
Good riddance.
And, what happens a lot of times is like, all right, he's ready. He's he's done a good job. But it's time for, some new ideas, new blood.
Get on to greener pastures,
And
Padre.
so for Stillwater, there is some effect. Now, the 2 of us will remain in our positions.
Lucky us. Oh, yeah.
Father Kerry remains as the pastor of St. John's.
Yeah.
I remain the pastor of St. Francis Xavier. Now, I am affected mildly, and that is in this way. I have been taken out of my role as Associate Vocation Director for the Diocese of Tulsa, so which I've been doing for the last 11 years. Through 3 vocation directors, I've helped promote vocations and seminary trips and all kinds of cool stuff, convent visits. And
2 bishops.
Anyway, 2 bishops and 3 vocation directors. Anyway, I do not have that job anymore. I think effective immediately.
Congratulations.
Or maybe July 1st. I don't know.
Why don't we just cancel your job right now?
That'd be okay.
You're welcome.
It was an unpaid position. So that I am grateful for the 11 years that I got to spend working officially in the vocations office. Every priest should be promoting vocations.
Agree.
And so it's not like you're not in the vocations office, but you promote, vocations. So, but I'm also grateful to have that. There'll be some fewer meetings with regard to vocations. Just a few things that will be off of my plate to be able to focus on the life of the parish here in Stillwater, and then also my job as the Vicar for Rain of the Western Vicariate.
R-A-I-N?
What?
Rain?
Rain? F-O-R-A-N-E.
For rain?
Vicar for Rain.
Because we need some rain.
So I help the bishop in the administration of the western part of the diocese. That's my job.
Oh, yes.
Now, all of that is totally incidental and minor to what we are about to tell you.
Whoa.
Which, if you pay attention to the life of the parishes in Stillwater, you already know this.
Or social media.
Social media.
It's getting splattered around all over the place.
Let's start with your big news. Tell the people of Payne County what they've won.
Well, y'all, our ministry has been growing. And we only have 2 Sunday masses, which is 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And
some parishes only have 1 Sunday mass.
I know, and they're small, usually small.
Some parishes have 10.
Yeah. So yeah. I started to sound like a New Zealander there for a second. I'm trading stuff in. So we got the good bishop and his council of elders. I don't know. That's what the council of elders.
It's called the personnel board.
Oh, the personnel board, which sends out priests. We habemus sacerdote pater portor. Yeah. So we Father Porter, Father James Porter, the also known as JP3 in some worlds, because it's John Paul II.
That's Father JP3 to you.
Oh, sorry, Father JP3. Father Porter is it was really exciting because I've asked this year especially for a second priest, and on paper, like mass schedules, it doesn't look like well, you guys don't really need a priest because you only have 2 Sunday masses. And then we always talk about, you and I talk about, especially when you're hiring that a new employee for hospitality, when we talked about this, what can you do now that you could not do before, that you have this additional priest or personnel in your staff, of how you can, there's more spiritual direction that can be done. There's more confessions. We can have an extra mass in the morning for students who can't get to mass, or we can change our mass times into the evening, or more opportunities for Eucharistic adoration. Retreats and small faith formation days with that. A priest can spend time exclusively with the focused missionaries or the student leadership council. And so Father Porter is going to learn campus ministry the old-fashioned way, by doing it.
Is that the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the new way? YouTube.
I learned it by sitting in then Father Dan Muggenberg's, Monsignor Dan Muggenberg, now Bishop Dan Muggenberg of Reno. That's how I learned campus ministry. Is he taught me campus ministry while he was coming back from Rome, and we would sit there and just chat for hours, and that relationship has I've known him since I was a 18
Just
years
a
old.
lad.
Just a lad. I've known him since I was 16 years old, Bishop Dan Muggenberg. And so he taught me campus ministry the old-fashioned way just by doing it. So Father Porter is going to learn campus ministry. He's going to learn development, campus ministry, how to run meetings. And some of those things he already knows because he was the priest at St.
He's been ordained 3 years.
Yeah, at St. Benedict's and Broken Arrow.
Big parish, active. Yep.
And he's been a seminarian. I just learned that he was actually a seminarian for a summer.
I think he did a summer at St. John's.
At St. John's.
Once he gets here, we'll have to do it.
Well, Irene McKelvey.
We'll do an in-depth interview expose.
Yeah, Irene McKelvey, who's our cleaning lady, custodial engineer, said, he was here. I was like, what? When?
Tell us about Father James Porter.
Father Porter sent out a little video to us.
He did? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's from Detroit, Michigan originally. He's been a priest 3 years. He graduated from high school in Sand Springs.
Charles Page High School. Go Sandites.
Go Sandites. Graduated from there and then went to seminary right after graduation from high school, and then has been assigned at St. Benedict's the last 3 years with Father Brian Brooks. And so Father Porter is coming to us not newly ordained and chrismated. He is
with some experience. That's great.
With some experience of working with young adults. So I think one of the cool things, him and I already chatted last week. He because he came to town and he spent a day here on a Thursday and had dinner with
yesterday.
us and went to a donor event that evening and just kind of like showing him the possibilities, and he hung out
learning
with Clay.
The ropes.
Exactly. And he also has students from his parish in Stillwater that are coming here to OSU. So there's an immediate connection between students that are coming from St. Benedict's in Broken Arrow to God's country, and they're gonna build a relationship together as continued priest and child of God. So Father Porter's going to be a great addition. I think he also brings something that I don't have.
Tell us what that is.
He has hair that's not silver.
He's young. Younger than us.
I think
the average age of the priests of Stillwater has gone down. I'm going to do a little math. Keep talking.
I think he's 28, 29. I don't know how old he is. I don't know his birthday.
I'll text him.
We're gonna figure that out. And so he's bringing one. He's younger than me. 2. He doesn't have any gray hair yet. 3.
We'll fix that.
3. If we haven't ever met, remember that time I told you I was coming out of Granny's, and this lady said, "Hi, Father O'Brien," and I said, "I'm sorry, you have the wrong priest." And obviously, we hadn't met, this lady and I, or this lady and you, because she would have not gotten us confused. Okay, so
yes,
yeah, I'm a turbo extrovert and love to socialize and big crowds, and there's things that I have skill sets in doing, such as talking while breathing. And Father Porter, I think, is probably an introvert. And he likes small groups of people rather than large groups.
But he's also he's outgoing. He's easy to talk to. And
he's outgoing. Yeah, he has friends that are priests and non-priests, and so I think he'll bring.
He's very friendly. I find him very joyful. These are things I admire about Father James Porter. I find him joyful. I think he's zealous. In the best sense of the word. I mean, I think he has a deep love for people and a care for souls.
Mm-hmm. Wants to be a saintly man.
It's prayerful, and so I think I would also describe him as very eager. Like wanting to do things and be with people and hear confessions, and probably pretty like agreeable of like I just think he'll jump right in.
I would second all that.
Yeah.
Especially the jumping right in. He's not afraid to. And I think he's going to bring a different perspective on stuff. I hope he's more organized than me.
I think he is. So actually one time he came out, this was when he was first ordained. I mean, I'm not the most organized person in the world, but I
Boo,
but
you
I'm,
are.
But I try to have a good system of like I don't like my current file setup but anyway, that's more of an internal. Right now I'm just talking to myself. But he came out and we kind of talked about like, so the best way for a priest to be organized, and
He's got a pop-up file.
yeah.
Good to great.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting things done.
Getting
The
things
Art
done.
of Stress-Free Productivity by David Allen.
I'm building one of those right now.
What?
A new pop-up file. I don't do the days. The days don't work for me, but the months do.
Oh, okay.
Like I need to order this.
You should do the days, but
I need the months first.
I don't judge you.
You just observe what I do and come to conclusions.
I don't judge you externally. I just know that I'm totally judging you in my heart.
I tell people, I say, I'm not judging. I'm just observing and coming to conclusions of what you're doing.
I'm not judging. I'm just internally thinking about what a terrible person you are. Okay, Father James Porter is 30 years old.
Did you? Was that a?
I texted him.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, he's 30. I knew he was around there.
30.
Okay, so that's Father James Porter. He's coming to St. John Catholic Student Center.
That's awesome.
And I'm really stoked. Now
what?
You when do they get one first?
July 1st.
July 1st. They get their July 1st.
New priest assignments are effective Friday, July 1st.
Hey, he's gonna. I don't know how many weddings he's done, but he's probably done a lot of funerals. So hey, we're gonna throw him in the mix.
He's done some weddings though. He did a wedding here.
We're gonna throw him in the
Sarah
mix.
Pierce, Russell Holder.
Oh yeah, marriage preparation.
Yep,
all sorts of good stuff.
He's heard a lot of St. Benedict's, man. They have a lot of confessions.
Okay,
lot.
Things are changing in God's country.
They
on the other side of town.
They are. So at St. Francis Xavier, two things are happening. We are losing the one and only Father Robert Duck. Don't be surprised. You've known this for like 2 weeks. This is the drama of radio.
The drama of radio.
Father Robert Duck has been reassigned. So he's been with us for the last almost 3 years. He is becoming a pastor.
What?
He's going to have 3 parishes. They are St. Michael's in Henrietta.
Oh, yeah, where G&H Decoys is.
And I believe it's most famous because it's where Troy Aikman is from.
Troy Aikman's mom used to work at G&H Decoys.
Also,
even when he was playing for the Cowboys.
Noted cowboy Jim Shoulders.
Who?
It's on the sign when you go into Henrietta. I don't know. I gotta look him up. All right, so he's going to St. Michael's in Henrietta, and that's where he's going to live. And then he has 2 other churches: St. Teresa, which we think is St. Teresa of Avila.
Oh.
We think
Like Mary of Avila.
Like Maria. So St. Teresa's in Okima.
Not Okeem.
There's Okeen. This is not that. This is Okima. Okeen is in the Archdiocese of Oklahoma City, and therefore is dead to us and doesn't matter. He's going to be in Okima. Okima is most noted for being the home of Woody Guthrie.
What?
Yes.
I'm looking these things up on
Yes,
Google Maps
indeed.
right now.
Okima. So then his 3rd parish will be one that we have come to know, and that is St. Stephen's in Holdenville.
Oh, yeah.
Holdenville is perhaps best known, at least here in Stillwater, as being the boyhood home of one T. Boone Pickens.
Oh, that's right.
So for all the Stillwater people, if you've been out to Karsten Creek to play golf or to eat or whatever, there's that little house off to the left as you come into the parking lot. That is T. Boone Pickens' boyhood home, which
was in Holdenville.
Used to be in Holdenville.
Okay, I'm looking at this. Okeen is western Oklahoma.
Yeah, Okeen.
I should know that because I have
Father John O'Neill is from there.
I have some students that are
and
from
all
there.
the Beckmans.
And all the Beckmans.
Yeah.
And then Okima is on I-40.
Yep.
Which is east of Oklahoma City, east of Prague, but that's where the boundaries of the diocese.
Yeah. So Henrietta is at
Wetumpka.
Henrietta is at basically where I-40 and 75 meet.
And the Indian Nations Turnpike right there to Idabel.
And then Okima is 25 minutes away, and then Holdenville is a little further, 45 minutes.
Okay, got it.
So Father Robert Duck is going to be the pastor of those 3 parishes, all 3. So he's going to put, I don't know, I haven't looked it up yet, but every weekend he's going to have a mass in Okima, he's going to have a mass in Henrietta, he's going to have a mass in Holdenville. So he's probably, I don't know, I'll bet he puts 150 miles on his car every weekend, driving to bring the Lord to his people. So anyway, that happens end of June. Father Robert Duck will cease to be our associate pastor. I've said this a few times already, and then we'll have some going away parties and stuff, but we have been, we ought to thank God. We have been abundantly blessed by the ministry of Father Robert Duck in our parish. He's on it. He celebrates Mass. He hears confessions. He preaches well. He's very attentive to the poor and the sick. He's very eager to make hospital visits and visit the homebound and take on various initiatives, both that are kind of his own ideas, and then also things that I've asked him to do or things that our staff is doing. So we have been blessed. Coming in his place, we are getting a new associate pastor.
What?
Who is Father Robert Healy, who goes by Father Healy. Father Healy. So you go by Father Kerry. I go by Father O'Brien.
Yeah.
He goes by Father Healy. Father Robert Healy.
Like Healy's like
Healy.
The shoes with the wheels in them?
Yes.
Oh.
Healey.
Healy's. Like I was healing in the hallway. Or stop healing.
I think people get it. That his last name is Healy. Anyway, he was ordained in 2020. He's a native of Tulsa. I don't know if he was born in Tulsa. This part I do not know.
Okay.
But he grew up in Tulsa because I remember when I was a seminarian, so I'm going to say 2004, 2005.
Okay.
I used to go to Mass all the time, the noon Mass at the cathedral. And who would be there serving Mass with all his brothers? One Robert Healy.
Oh.
So I met him. I don't know. He was probably 13 or 14. I mean, it was a good long time ago.
Okay.
So Father Healy then was homeschooled in Tulsa. He has a beautiful Catholic family. His aunt actually goes to St. Francis Xavier. Oh. So there'll be a little family close by.
Okay.
Then he did his undergrad at Benedictine College.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then he worked for a little bit. I think he worked in a parish. I don't know that whole story.
School, I think.
Maybe taught. Yeah, we'll have to get him on the show. And then became a seminarian for the Diocese of Tulsa and was ordained in 2020.
Well, okay. So you said he goes by Father Healy.
Yep.
Now, for the Spanish-speaking people, the la gente que habla español, and there's no H in
Padre Healy.
Padre Healy, or what about Padre Beto?
Roberto.
Beto?
Roberto.
Roberto or Beto? Because
that's a nickname. Beto's like a nickname.
It's Robert.
Right. But
okay.
I'm not a big fan of calling priests by their nicknames.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes in Spanish.
Healy.
But he does speak Spanish, which is awesome.
Like 100% Español or like I know he said he proclaimed the Exultet in Spanish. And
so
I was like, what?
The last 2 years, there's a little parish down in Heavener, Oklahoma.
Which is like...
Heavener has like a Spanish-speaking population. So the last 2 years, while he was at St. Anne's in Broken Arrow, which is where he's coming from, he has celebrated the Triduum, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, the Easter Vigil, in Spanish in Heavener.
Wow. That's impressive.
So that's more than I've ever done.
But 3 years in a row?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years in a row.
The Hispanics down there were like, "Hey, send that tall, lanky guy, white guy back here."
Let's go. But anyway, Father Healy, I'm excited that he's coming. I am too. So I don't know him as well as I know Father Kerry. I don't know him as well as I know Father Robert Duck, but I know him. And I'm excited that he's coming because I think he brings a lot of things that our parish will benefit from. Number one, I've always admired, both when he was a seminarian and now as a priest, he is deeply prayerful.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I think that will be good for the parish, that he will be a generous and frequent intercessor for the people of our parish. Preaching wise, I've actually never really heard him preach, but I've heard good things. He's very intelligent. I think he'll get very involved in kind of our youth group.
Yeah, sure.
RCIA, marriage preparation. But then also, I think he has an attentiveness to those who are in need, and so the poor in our community. And we have many, many, many homebound folks, nursing homes, retirement homes. So we do a lot of visiting there.
Yeah.
And I just think he'll jump right in and be able to do it in English and Spanish. And so the future is bright.
Getting good grades. We're gonna. What's that? How's that song go, Don?
What?
Something about I gotta wear shades.
The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
Shades. From who?
Timbuck 3.
Timbuck 3.
Never heard of that.
Come on, Don. Comes out of the cheap seats.
The other interesting thing, which we do not know yet, and that is, will we have summer seminarians?
Ooh, hello.
Remains to be.
Okay, our rectory, when you look at it, it's like we always say it's divided into threes. It's divided into storage, cars and storage. It's divided into a third, which is social space for events, which,
we have many.
We have many of those.
Increasingly.
And then it's like a third is divided into housing, like little small apartments basically built inside of our house, inside the rectory.
Yeah, there's 6 bedrooms.
6 bedrooms in there. And now we're going to have 4 of them occupied. By priests.
By priests of God, yeah.
And then we're going to have 2 seminarians this summer.
Maybe, I don't know that.
Or maybe one. And
or maybe none. I don't know.
Or none. And then we have this constant, steady supply of priests that just show up for weddings or something like that who stay with us.
Yep.
So I'm really glad. Whenever we were like, 6 bedrooms? Really? 6?
Yeah.
Yep, 6. And but we said, like when you talked about...
You gotta have vision.
When you talked about the just getting someone new person to work on your staff, same as me, we're hiring a new development director. Like, we're thinking out a lot further than just 6 months. I mean, just look at your offices. Like, you've had to add new offices already to your church that was dedicated in 2018.
Right.
So just like thinking out further, like how can we help evangelize and celebrate the joys of the Christian life with the good people of Payne County and beyond this galaxy.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So it's been, I don't know, when was the last time there were 4 priests in Stillwater?
I don't know. It was probably...
All of you older listeners, think back to your misspent youth.
No, I think there was 2 priests. I know, like, Father David Medina was at St. Francis with Father Ken, and there were 2 priests over at St. Francis or St. John as well.
Is that right?
I think so, because there was like Father Emmanuel, who's now going to Pawhuska.
Yeah.
He was here as a college grad student at St. John.
Oh, and a priest?
And as a priest, working with Father Stewart.
So maybe that could have been 10, 15 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark.
Oh. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. It's exciting. I will say that there's never been 4 priests in Stillwater that have all lived together.
That is true.
So that's something we're trying to be very intentional about, creating community and being of support to each other, praying together, eating together. Mm-hmm. That's something of high value.
Agree.
And also, Father Porter likes sports.
Oh, wow.
And so that's going to be really good. Because you like soccer, which I think is weird.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not weird. It's just the sport I don't really like to watch. And then we'll have to find out about Father Healy. I don't know. I know he's very outdoorsy and very musical, by the way.
Yeah, he plays multiple.
Plays all kinds of instruments and
I think he plays 5 instruments?
Sings beautifully. We'll have him on the show.
He plays like the violin,
I know he plays the banjo.
And the banjo, yeah.
So that'll be good times.
I'm going to have to just like take him to a pub night and just like, dude, put him on a stool at Iron Monk and say, play for us.
Don't forget the tip jar.
And put a tip jar.
Tip jar for the kids. Tip jar for the poor. Okay, this has been another installment of Pastors of Payne. Father Brian O'Brien, Father Kerry Wakulich, we're glad you joined us. Pray for us. Pray for all the priests that are moving.
I know, in your parishes too.
We are not, but 25 or so of our brethren are on the move in some way. And it's hard. It's hard on the parishes. It's hard on those guys that kind of period of transition. So anyway, pray for them, and we will see you next week. God bless you.
Peace.